Hey everyone, thank you so much for coming back to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my YouTube channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos from me. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about what I have learned so far and just my overall experience so far living here 1 month in Singapore. I can't believe I've been in Singapore for a little over a month now. That is pretty exciting, about a month and a week. So yay, I'm so excited that I packed up all of my things from America and I took it all with me to Singapore. So the reason why I moved to Singapore is for a few different reasons. One, I was aching for a new change in my life. I was getting a little tired of where I was living. I feel like just where I was living just was not a good environment for me. So I lived in the state Utah, which is in the United States of America. Now, it may be a beautiful place to live in and there's lots to do, lots to see. There's a lot of beautiful things there. The food is good and the people are really nice. I love Utah so much. It is home for me, but there is one major flaw. No offense to any of you that are, but that is the Mormons. I'm personally not Mormon. It's very black and white over there. It's either you're Mormon or you're not Mormon. And if you're not Mormon, you kind of get treated like you're not worthy of them in a way. I'm not saying that's for all Mormons. For some reason, Mormons get super offended if you say anything negative about them. Like they'll say, oh, that's just the bad Mormons. Well, it looks like 99% of the Mormons I've met, I guess, are those bad Mormons that you're talking about. So I was getting really tired of feeling like I wasn't worthy enough or worthy of God because, you know, I drink coffee, I'll drink alcohol, maybe I had an occasional swear word come out of my mouth. But I know, like, at the end of the day, God still loves me. So, you know, it was just kind of hard that other people were giving me a hard time for how I like to live my lifestyle. And so just living in Utah is really difficult when other people are giving you a hard time for not being a part of their religion. I've also went to a couple different universities while I was in the Salt Lake area and I was just not liking the schools there. I wasn't that happy, and then all the jobs I had there I was not happy at. You know, I just wasn't happy there. Like, all of my really close friends, except like 2 friends, moved away. I'm seriously not joking. Like, I had friends move to St. George. One of my best friends moved to Florida. Another one of my best friends moved to South Africa. Another one of my good friends moved to Georgia. Another one moved to California. I just, like, all my friends were leaving. I've been saying since I moved to Utah that I'm gonna get out of here. You know, I hate it here and stuff like that. But then I fell in love with Utah. I'm like, okay, I think I'll stay here a little while. But then I'm like, okay, yeah, I need to get out of here. It's just like one massive isolated bubble. And the main reason why I moved to the other side of the world is because I did it for love. I am in love with someone that happens to live here and work here, and we are in a really committed and faithful relationship. So I didn't come here for school, I didn't come here for work. I came here for 2 reasons: a new change in my life and to be with the one that I love. Before I met my boyfriend, I was never that girl that'll say, oh yeah, I'm gonna just drop my whole life to go live with someone at the other side of the world and move across the world for them. Like, I never thought I would be that girl. But you know what? If someone is worth it, trust me, they're worth it. You will move heaven and earth to be with them. Now, when we were deciding these kind of decisions in a relationship, we were thinking, oh, should he come to America? Should I come to Singapore? Should we both move? But the thing is, I didn't have anything holding me back in America at all. And he does. You know, he has a job here that he really enjoys and loves, and he's really well respected. He has done so much for the company, and you know, I would never ask him to give up a job that he really loves and enjoys. And I had nothing holding me back. I can finish my degree online, and I prefer online classes better, and I wanted a new change in my life. I already had some friends here just from the other times I came to visit. You know, I thought, well, why not? What is holding me back? There was literally nothing holding me back. So I'm not going to stay in Singapore forever. I definitely would either like to return back home, or maybe I can go with James to New Zealand, or maybe we can go to like Australia or Europe or South Africa, or I don't know, just somewhere new. So I have no idea where life is going to take me, but I know I'm probably going to be in Singapore for at least another year, I'm pretty sure. So one of the biggest shocks for me was definitely the language barrier. Although English is the main language here, it is still hard to communicate with people here because they have their own version of English here, and it's called Singlish. So they basically speak in very incomplete sentences, and the vocabulary is a lot denser. It's not as broad. So a lot of like the grammar and the sentences don't make sense here, but you at least adjust to it. I'm still adjusting to it. It's definitely a struggle. Another shock for me was definitely noticing that people aren't as polite and courteous here like I'm used to in the US. I'm kind of used to people holding open doors for each other, you know, or if someone ahead of you in line, you know, was looking at their phone, wasn't paying attention, you usually say, hey, you're next in line. Well, here in Singapore, and as far as I can tell all over Asia, people aren't like that here. No one will hold open the door for you. No one will help you carry your bags. Just no one really helps each other out, which, you know, I kind of miss a little. I kind of miss that hospitality and the friendliness. But, you know, I am from a state where there aren't a lot of people, so obviously in places like that, more rural places, people are a lot more courteous. In some ways, I kind of do like it though, because it's really annoying when, you know, there's someone in front of you that's taking forever, but if you just go walk in front of them, no one cares. So in some ways it's nice, like especially if you're in a hurry. So as for finding places to rent, I am not sure. I have not gone through that process yet. My boyfriend already had this apartment that he is renting out with one of his colleagues, so I never had to look for an apartment or anything like that, but the lease is up sometime in spring of 2017. Something I really like about living in Singapore is actually not having a car. I liked how everything is so close together, and I can just hop on a bus or an MRT, which is like their metro subway system here, and I can just go anywhere. Like seriously, I can go from one end of the country to the other end of the country in like a matter of a couple of hours. So like it's just so small, and so many people live here, and the buildings are so close together that there's just so much to do, and I really enjoy it. I'm used to living in a suburb where houses are kind of spread far apart and the roads are very wide and there's outdoor shopping malls and everyone has a car. Like if you don't have a car, then you can't get anywhere. Something else I've noticed here, it's actually cheaper to go out to eat at hawker centers than it is to cook at home. I didn't realize that cooking at home could be so expensive. It's a lot more expensive than the US, especially if you want to buy a lot of Western food like from Europe and the US. I cannot believe how expensive American food is at the grocery stores. They don't have a really large selection, but if you do find American products, it's like double or triple the price. And I'm like, what? Especially things like cheese and milk. I'm actually allergic to cheese and milk. I have to get the dairy-free, lactose-free cheese stuff, so I have to go to a special store for that. So the store I usually go to is called, I think it's called Super Nature, and it's an Orchard. And a lot of fresh produce can be really expensive if you get it at places like Marketplace and Cold Storage. They are the high-end grocery stores here, but that's also where you can find like a lot of American food. So as for fresh produce, I usually like to get them from wet markets, which are basically like these standing outside Asian markets where people sell fruit and vegetables, and they have them like on the stand, and they're all fresh. You know, as long as you wash them before you eat them, you know, they're fine, and they're so cheap. Like literally you can find things for less than $1. It's great. It is kind of a hassle though that I have to go to a few different places just to get like my normal stuff. As for making friends here, there are many different options. Obviously, if you have some sort of job here, you know, you can make friends through there. How I've been making friends is through my boyfriends, colleagues, wives, and girlfriends. Typically, we all do stuff together because my boyfriend is like best friends with his colleagues and his workmates. So typically we all hang out together as a group. We'll have parties together, we'll have dinners together. But I also go on meetup.com and I look for stuff like expats living in Singapore or women of Singapore, stay-at-home housewives. I'm not a housewife, but I am a house girlfriend. I don't just do nothing all day long. Like obviously I'm busy with like my YouTube channel and my blog, and like I'm doing lots of different things. I like to join groups like that because I feel like I can relate with these women because they're usually in the same or similar position as me, or you know, it's pretty cool. Now, I have not actually met too many Americans here. If I do meet white English speakers, they're usually from Australia. But I plan on going to some more meetup groups, probably not until next year, because starting tomorrow, I'm just gonna be, no, starting today actually. yeah, this evening I'm gonna be traveling a lot. Oh, that's another thing. People here travel like crazy. You seriously don't meet anybody that does not travel. That seems to be everyone's hobby here. There's so much to do, and the food here is amazing. There's so much food here. If you love spicy food, this is the place to come. If you love different types of Asian cuisines, especially like Southeast Asian food, you will love Singapore, because Singapore is basically just one big melting pot of all these different cultures all throughout Asia, and you can just find the best food here. Also, going on weekend getaways is so easy. You can easily go to Thailand for the weekend. You can go to Malaysia for the weekend. You can go to Indonesia. Places like Vietnam, maybe not for the weekend. You'll probably, maybe like on a longer weekend. And like the Philippines is kind of far away too. But just everything is so close here. You can easily travel throughout Southeast Asia so easily. I really don't like how expensive the alcohol is here. The drinks are just so cheap. Everywhere else in Southeast Asia you can get like $5 cocktails, but the drinks here are like $30 for a cocktail. It is insane. Chewing gum here, buying and selling gum is illegal in Singapore, so obviously don't do that. You can bring gum into the country, but I would be careful not to chew it out in public, and I'm not a gum chewer, so it doesn't really affect me. Like, I don't care. Singapore is only 1 degree above the equator, so it is warm and summer every single day of the year. So if you're someone that just hates seasons and hates snow or any drop or tad of coldness in your life, move here. You will never experience a cold day ever again, and I promise you, like, ever. Living here in Singapore has been such an amazing adventure so far. I've mostly been spending most of my time just cleaning the place, decorating the place, unpacking, getting things that I need, getting settled in, getting familiar with the area, meeting people. So much has happened in just the 1 month that I've been here. But after I've been here for, I think, maybe like 6 months, I think I'll make another update video. I also wanted to make this video because I get questions all the time in my inbox about Singapore and living here and stuff like that. So what I want you guys to do, I want you guys to leave comments down below what some of the questions you have about moving abroad, what it's like to move across the world for the love of your life, what it's like to live in Singapore, what it's like to be an American in Singapore, where to go shopping, how to figure stuff out here. If you have any questions relating to any of this at all, go ahead and leave them down below. I will make a follow-up video probably at the 6-month mark. Well, anyways, I really appreciate you clicking on this video. Make sure you thumbs up this video. Also, make sure to subscribe because I know you want to. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later and have a fabulous day. Bye!